Welcome to another week of Family Life with Mama Rita. I told you last week that the whole of May is actually Mental Awareness Month, the Green Month. Since we didn't come your way this May with the mental awareness, at least the first week or first few weeks in June, we want to remind you that you need to take care of yourself. And last week we had Dr. Ajua Jamira, a psychiatrist or the head of the psychiatric department or psychology unit at Cape Coast. Dr. Ajua, thank you so much for making time to come all the way from Cape Coast to be a blessing to us. I mean, what you spoke to us about was an eye opener. An eye opener. When people give birth, we shouldn't just assume that everything is fine. We need to check up on them. If they are not coming to church, we need to check up on them. Even whilst on maternity leave, we need to check up on them because they might be going through issues that we don't know ourselves. And I say thank you and thank you. And God bless you for being a blessing to us. And this week we want to have a panel discussion on postpartum depression or postnatal depression. With me again is Dr. Ajua, a psychiatrist from Cape Coast Hospital. And then also with me is Dr. Promise Sefoga. Dr. Promise has been with us before in Family Life to talk to us about the different forms of getting pregnant. He was such a blessing, and he's going to be with us again today. Dr. Promise is the lead consultant and gynecologist at the fertility specialist and medical director at Shape Healthcare Specialist Medical Center. Let me go again. Dr. Promise is the lead consultant and gynecologist, fertility specialist, and medical director at Shape Healthcare Specialist Medical Center here in Accra. And also with us are mothers who were pregnant for 9 months, went through challenges after delivery, and they have come to share their story of what they went through after delivery. With me is Nanaya, company name Peaches, who does my makeup. Nanaya, thank you for being there for me. And then also Vanessa Rich Bennett. Pleasure is mine to welcome to the studio Dr. Ajua, Dr. Promise, Nanaya Peaches, and Vanessa Rich Bennett. Enjoy your time with us talking about postnatal depression.
So our first question, we're going to start with Dr. Promise. And someone says, from your experience, what is the most misunderstood part of postpartum recovery? What is the most misunderstood part of postpartum recovery?
So this is the only male voice here, so you have to support me big. All right. I'll first of all say thank you for the invitation to be here to talk about this very important issue because it's a big problem that we hardly get a chance to talk about. Meanwhile, it has very, very bad effects on the mother, the family, the children, way into the future. It even affects how the children behave if their mothers suffer postpartum depression. And so it's a great idea. We are gathered to talk about it. So you can learn something not only for yourself, but for a friend, for a sister, for a workmate, and for somebody at church. So thank you for adding me to the panel. Now, one of the most important part is the fact that perinatal depression or mental health problems after delivery, we don't know about them. That's the biggest part of the problem. And because we don't know that it's a medical problem, when it happens, the first point of call, a lot of our people go to the traditional healers. Accra, there, you may not see a lot of that. But outside Accra, they take them to traditional healers. Recently, we did a study to look at the situation all across Ghana. You hear things. They lock them up in the herbalist place. They slaughter cow. They slaughter goat. They wear the intestine on their waist. All sorts of things. Just because a woman has delivered, got back home, and she's not being normal and happy like the way we expect. Meanwhile, like Dr. Ajua said, there is a medical reason why it happens. You know? And so the understanding that's needed is that when the woman is pregnant, the placenta which connects the baby to the mother produces a lot of hormones which keep the woman's mental health very good. After delivery, when we remove the placenta, those hormone levels drop. If on top of that, the woman doesn't have a lot of support or she has something we call any other form of vulnerability, then it tips them into depression. So, if we experience or we observe this, let us be the ones to point them to where help is, not to stigmatize them. So, we should all know that when a woman delivers, the first 6 weeks after delivery, that is when they are at the highest risk of developing a mental health problem throughout their life. Forget about a broken heart or somebody stole their iPhone, whatever. When a woman delivers, within the first 6 weeks of delivery, they are at the most vulnerable point in their life to develop mental health problems. And what do they need at that point? A lot of support. The examples we had, support stood out as the main thing which people fell on to pull through. And like she said, some of the risk factors, if somebody delivered preterm, like our sister said, it's a big problem. You know how sometimes the babies come preterm and they're very tiny. Recently, somebody said my baby was like a lizard. You know, how can I hold that? Everybody's carrying their baby breastfeeding. How can my nipple even fit into this tiny baby's mouth? It depresses them. The babies are kept in the place where we keep sick babies called NICU. The mother has to climb up and down. She has had cesarean or episiotomy. She's walking is a problem. It's a lot of stress. So what they need is we to understand them, and two, to support them and be encouraging. Thank you.
Please put your hands together.
I hope people are listening. My darling, don't wait until you get there. Number two, you might not get there, but somebody very close to you might get there. So please listen, make notes if you can, so that when you see the symptoms, either you yourself, a friend, or a daughter, you know it, and you know what must be done. After this show, if I play it and it's very good, we are going to actually play it on Family Life, because this is something a lot of people must know. Like he's saying, people are going to the shrines because after delivery they were acting funny. We want to make it public so they know that there's help. You need help around you. You need to either see people around you, your mother, a friend, a church mother, or doctors like them who will be able to help. So please, let's listen carefully, make notes, help ourselves, and be able to help others around us.
Put your hands together. Before we move to the next question, I just want to use Dr. Promise's response to tie into Vanessa's experience as a mother of a premature baby. So if you can share a little experience of, just as Dr. Promise said, the first 6 weeks after delivering your baby,
How was that for you?
Okay, thank you. Can everybody hear me? Okay. First of all, I want to say I'm honored to be on this panel, to be called to share
Speak aloud a bit.
my experience as a mother of a preemie. So for me, recently I found out that even during the pregnancy, I was sad. And sometimes my husband would be like, snap out of it. Come here, you are not here. And I'll be like, where was I? I said, I don't know, I was talking to you and you had zoned out. It was just recently that I realized that I had prenatal...
Before the post.
Yes, because at 14 weeks, I had lost all my fluid, and then it was just a lot. So I had a baby at 27 weeks, and then I was thrust into NICU. I had a C-section. I wasn't healed. I would go to the NICU and sit by my baby's incubator for 8 hours. They would tell me to leave. I said, I don't know what I will do if I leave. I need to sit here. And when it's time, when they finally get me to leave, I get home and then I'm asked, like, how is the baby? I said, I don't know. The baby is okay, and as okay as the baby can be. And I don't know if I'll meet the baby tomorrow. So it was never a good feeling. Like sometimes I've never been the type of person to pray and shout. I grew up Catholic. So I've always liked to pray silently and all that. But during that experience, I would go into my room, kneel down, pray, shout, what did I do, God, for you to feel like I can go through this? I'm not that strong.
The issue will bring the prayer.
And I've never used prayer as a form of therapy before, but I realized that in that period, I used to pray a lot. I used to worship a lot. And every time I pray and I worship for a long period of time, I'll cry my heart out. And at the end, I'll feel very relaxed. I'll feel like everything will be fine. So prayer was one of the
Let's give it up. Let's give it up to her. Go ahead.
Then my support system, my mom, my husband, the people that knew Reverend Benis, she would call to check up on us. They really helped me. They really held me down, like keeping my mind focused. And another thing that I like to do on a normal day, which I didn't think was therapeutic, was journaling. I like to journal every day. I just write the highlights of the day. And so about a year after, when my baby turned 1, I just picked the inputs from my journal, and then I started reading over the whole thing, from the pregnancy to where we were now. And at different points, I'll just cry. I'll go back into the moment and say, God has really done a lot. I have a lot of firsts. This was the first time I held my baby, and it was more than 3 weeks after I had the baby, before I could hold the baby. There were a lot of firsts. There were a lot of, even though things were not good, every time I go for a scan there's something to celebrate, even though things were not good generally, but there was always a little win, like God showing me that, Vanessa, I'm here. So journaling helped me, and I feel like everybody should journal. Write the good things that happen in the day, write the bad things. When you read back on it, you realize the hand of God in your life. You appreciate God more. So prayer, the support, journaling. Then I was mindful. I was so anxious all the time. I had a baby that came premature. Her lungs were not developed. She had a lot of issues when we were in NICU. Then I told myself that by the time they discharge us, everything will be fine. It means, if they say you can go home, it means everything is okay. But that was the biggest lie I told myself. Because when we went home, it was a whole other journey. Every week or 2 weeks, we'll be in the hospital. And there's always something else. My baby had 2 holes in her heart. She had clubfoot. I've never seen somebody with clubfoot before. There were a lot of things. So every time
clubfoot?
It's a birth defect. So one of the legs was curved like this. Okay. Mostly it's 2, but my baby had 1. And there were a lot of things that kept coming up. We'll go for one scan or one x-ray, and they'll tell us the liver is swollen. And I'll be like, why is the baby's liver swollen? There was so much going on. But every time, God will show up, and then
AG, I remember one time I went to AG's office to see him, and I was telling him, I just kept going on and on about it. He said, everything will be fine. The baby, there's nothing wrong. Everything will be okay. So 1 year later, when I was putting together the book, and then everything was fine, my baby doesn't have any hole in her heart. She's a perfectly normal child. Like, I can't believe it's the same baby that had all that. So I was like, God has done a thing, and I'm really grateful for.
Tell somebody sitting by you, everything will be all right.
Everything will be all right.
My darling, not just about having a baby, not about after baby, and everything will be all right. Tell the person everything will be all right.
Everything will be all right.
Sometimes when you are going through, you think you are alone, you think nobody cares, you think nobody has ever gone through it. You ask God, why me? Why is this happening to me? But I am here to let you know everything will be all right. Vanessa, God bless you for your story. And Dr. Ajua said something which I've taken on board, that seek help. Everybody says seek help.
Seek help.
If you need help, ask for it. I remember when my daughter was pregnant, Dr. Ajua, apparently what she was looking for was for me to go with her to antenatal. She never asked for it. I never had my mother following me. Never had my husband following me. I was always going all by myself. The only time when my mother followed me was when I had malaria, 7th month. Otherwise, I was going by myself. So I felt she was okay all by herself. Unfortunately for her, she was going on a Sunday. Sunday is my busiest day. Everybody here knows it. I ran an OPD here. And it's always a terrible day for me. When I leave home on Sunday, I know I am one of the last people who live here. So apparently, she was expecting it. She never had it. And I think it also added on to her stress that nobody ever followed. I said, you should have told me. You weren't going to the hospital every Sunday. Initially, it was once a month until once every 3 weeks. I could have made time. So, my darling, when you need help, tell somebody, seek help.
Seek help.
Ask help.
Ask for help.
Ask for help.
Ask for help.
Go ahead, my Chief Ape. Chief Ape, I'm not missing you today. We are training people. We are raising daughters.
Thank you very much, Mommy.
So get ready. The day Chief Ape is not there, you'll be on Family Life with me.
Yes,
You're going to look for trouble for yourself today.
Thank you very much, Mom. Just a reminder, if you have a question, an in-person question, please come and sit to my right so that we can acknowledge you and then give you the microphone to speak. So we have another question here, which I think will direct to Dr. Ajua and Mommy. So the person says, I have been suicidal. I had an ectopic pregnancy a year ago and had a surgery. I don't know how I wrote my final exams 2 weeks later. A few months later, I miscarried. I lost interest in my job. I've tried to move on. I want to start afresh. I want to move on, enjoy my marriage and life. Please help me.
Dr. Ajua, this is your question. I would only do the deliverance aspect, but she will tell you everything is not deliverance. So she's there. That is why she's here. And my darling, any question that must go to Dr. Ajua and Dr. Promise, ask now. Don't let me exhibit my ignorance. Where it's not my area, don't ask me. So ask them questions whilst they are here. Let them be able to answer. So, Dr. Ajua.
Thank you. It's important that we talk. Can you hear me? Yes, it's important that we talk one-on-one
But first of all, I am grateful for your life. We are all happy you are still with us. It's important to stay alive. And so we need to talk to help you to stay alive. Most of the time, we look at risk factors for suicide. So suicide risk. And the fact that you are still here means that you don't have all the risk. So there's a lot of hope for you. Whatever the reason is for not going through with the thoughts, hold on to those ones. And then let's talk later. Okay. I will leave my number at the end of the day. You can call me and then let's talk later. If you still want to remain anonymous, you can. If you still want to remain anonymous or you don't want to see me, you can go to any of the health facilities that I mentioned earlier. And then you can get help from there. But definitely, we need to talk and keep you. No one should live like that. Life is beautiful. And it's usually after you have gone through the episode that you realize that our sister said she learned that she was depressed. Usually when you are in it, you don't know. So again, the fact that you can talk about it and know that you have been there is a huge plus. And there's a lot of promise for you. So let's talk.
Dr. Promise, if you want to.
Yes, I just want to encourage you that if you had ectopic, it's not the end of the world. You know, the womb has 2 tubes. So if you imagine my body as the womb, this is one tube, this is the other one. Ectopic means that you got pregnant, and instead of the pregnancy settling in the womb, it settled inside the tube. So that tube is damaged. So we normally will cut it away. Otherwise, another pregnancy will go there again. But you have the other tube, which will take care of you. We've had patients who had ectopic. After that, they carried on and had 2, 3, 4, 5 children. So having ectopic does not end your reproductive life at all. So I just wanted to put that across.
Dr. Promise has been with me on Family Life before. And Dr. Promise, I want you to talk a bit about the other forms of having babies. Sometimes we want to force by all means, I must carry my baby whether I can or not. I lost one pastor's wife. I haven't gotten over it. She was a sickle cell patient, never told us. She would carry a baby, miscarry, carry a baby, miscarry, carry. And she didn't want anybody sympathizing with her. So she never told me she was sickle cell until I made her go to Israel just for a trip. Then she got sick. She got crisis there. And that was when I got to know. Even then, she blamed the person for telling me. By the time I was ready, I knew about it, and I was time to talk to her. Listen, you can't carry a baby. Now, there are different forms of having a baby. Don't carry a baby anymore. Unfortunately, she was pregnant. And that was her last. We lost her. So I want you to talk to us on the different ways of carrying a baby. And if for any reason you want to talk to Dr. Promise after then, he's good with issues to do with fertility. You want to get pregnant, you are getting miscarriages, that is his area. He'll be available to talk to you.
Yes, that's very sad. You see, sickle cell, for instance, is a very common problem in our part of the world. The whole world, where we live, that is where the highest burden of sickle cell disease is. That is just what it is. And so we have various types. Somebody has AS. We call that one a carrier. It's not a big problem. They don't get crisis. Then we have SC. That is sickle cell disease. The one we fear most is the SS. Okay? Now, that means that the SS, your blood cells are not strong enough when it comes to carrying oxygen to your tissues. It makes the children fall sick often. They are in the emergency room every week, every 2 weeks. Now, if they grow into adulthood, the next biggest fear is during pregnancy. In Kolibu, where I teach, every month when we meet to look at the pregnant women who we lost during pregnancy or delivery, sickle cell is always a part, So like Mommy is saying, there are ways that we can take your egg, take your partner's sperm, fertilize the baby to get a baby, and if the means is there, we get somebody to carry the pregnancy for you. It's called surrogacy or gestational carrier. These are available so that you can have your life without taking the undue risk. And some too, they know they are sickle cell disease. They've had 1, 2 children. It is enough.
Please tell them.
It is enough.
Don't be selfish.
Don't be selfish. Don't be greedy.
We need you alive. The money is now coming. I'm here to make money out of city of Shiloh to distribute for you.
Amen.
You see, you can't say amen.
And so 1, 2 is enough. Because another one might be the trouble. Is that okay? Now, there's intervention in place now so that we are trying to prevent us having babies who are born with sickle cell disease. And how we do that is, if the man has AS, the woman also has AS or SS or SC. In order to prevent you having a baby who have sickle cell disease, we take the woman's eggs, we take the sperms, we can form all the pregnancies. Assuming we have 10 eggs, we fertilize all of them. So those are 10 babies. Then we examine them. Which one is SS? Put it aside. Which one is AA? Put it aside.
It's happening in Ghana now.
Yes, we do that now.
Please, let's clap. Wow.
Yes. So as we do that, we're able to tell the AA, AS, and then we put the SS ones aside. Then we can take 1 or 2 of the non-SS one and put in the womb. And then we have a baby who will not be suffering in future with sickle cell disease.
Wow.
So there is help.
Wow. And then I want you to tell us about your clinic so that those who would want to see you after this one know where to go to.
No problem. Fortunately, my clinic is close by here. Last time AG said he ordained me as a pastor. Since then, I've been running away. But the clinic is right at Latebio Koshi, just after Radio Gold. There's a pub there called Oliver Twist. That's the poster at the back there. It's called Shape Healthcare Specialist Medical Center. When we are done, my manager is around. He can give you the contact. And then when you show up, especially when you mention that we met here, he will give you some discounts,
Shall we clap? Shall we clap? Shall we clap? This is good news for us. Just last week, somebody told me she started coming to your clinic. Just last week.
Yes. And then when you are pregnant, when you're married and the pregnancy is not coming, we've realized that now, due to career pursuits, all of us want to go high, acquire plenty degrees, AB, BSc, MBA, all of them, And so the women forget about childbirth until it is a little late. Now, we wish that every woman would have finished having babies by the time they are 35. We wish. That is ideal.
Please tell us.
You see, because due to lack of knowledge, my people do what?
Perish.
Yes. But the knowledge says that if you can, at least, plan to finish having babies by age 35.
Wow.
When you get pregnant beyond 35 years, it is risky. The risk of hypertension in pregnancy, the risk of diabetes, the risk of having cesarean section, the risk of having babies that wouldn't form well, all those are there. Now, we are even saying that if for one particular reason, maybe you are getting close to 35, but Mr. Right hasn't appeared yet, we're able to take your eggs and freeze them for you. So if it takes another 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe you are 41, 44, before things have stabilized, then you have your eggs, which were frozen at, say, 34 years. They are much younger, stronger quality, and then we use those eggs to make the pregnancy for you. We call it fertility preservation. So these are all available just so that we can help you without you taking all the risk. But the point is, there is a solution for literally every problem. We do our part. You add prayer, Mama Rita adds her own, and then together we make it happen. So let's seek for help.
Seek for help. Now everything is possible. With this, We will go on a short commercial break, and we will be back to listen to Dr. Ajua and to listen to Dr. Promise. But please let your questions flow. They'll be around to answer all your questions. God bless you.
Men Makers Ministry presents Men Makers Camp 2025, a gathering of men called for a purpose and born to succeed. Join the Apostle General Sam Korankye-Ankrah, Reverend Mrs. Rita Korankye-Ankrah, Reverend Stanley Mensah, Patrick Otiekubwedu, alongside a host of godly, visionary, and purpose-driven men for a time of spiritual sharpening, leadership impartation, and personal renewal. Theme: I am called. Romans 8 verse 30. Date: Thursday 12th to Saturday 14th June 2025. Venue: City of Shiloh, Akoto Chopoli. This is a call to all men, young or old, far or near, married or unmarried. Do not miss this divine opportunity. Men born to succeed.
Daughters of Mama Rita, are you ready for some praise? Wave your mantles, wave your mantles. Somebody celebrate it to your next level. Celebrate it to your shift.
You are going with your marriage.
We receive it.
You are going with your pregnancy.
We receive it.
You are going with your children.
We receive it.
Royal ladies, are you ready? The moment we've been waiting for is finally here. From every assembly, every region, and every nation, the women are gathering again. Camp 2025 is not just another event, it's the destiny moment. We have seen great miracles, head moving testimonies, and experienced the powerful move of God like never before. And this year will be no different.
This year, get ready for another encounter and history in the making. From Thursday 3rd to Sunday 5th July, all roads lead to the city of Shiloh for Royal Ladies Camp 2025. Theme: there shall be a performance. Luke 1:45.
And in a glorious moment, our President General, Reverend Mrs. Rita Korankye-Ankrah, will be consecrated as Apostle of the Lord's Church. Joining her are a dynamic lineup of speakers: Reverend Mrs. Dora Takiaboy, Reverend Emmanuel Agomeda, Reverend Geoffrey Adotutu, Reverend Mrs. Faith Ngwale, and our Father, Apostle General Sam Korankye-Ankrah.
Wherever you be joining us from, we've prepared a seat online just for you. Connect live on Powerline TV and all Royal House digital platforms. Royal Ladies Camp 2025, there shall be a performance. Royal Ladies, arise and shine.
We have one question which we'll take in person.
So this is following up from the question on miscarriages. I don't know, maybe this Dr. Promise can answer if he has an answer to this. I'm not too sure what is going on these days, but a lot of young ladies are losing their babies when they get pregnant. And now in the church, adding on to their postnatal depression, Mommy, we have a lot of women in the church who tell them that it's because you came to church, that's why you lost your pregnancy.
Wow.
I warned you not to come to church. I told you not to come. You were showing your face. You were doing your work. You were coming to the altar. Why won't you not lose your baby? And they make them feel bad, and it adds on to their postnatal depression. That's why now a lot of ladies get pregnant and they go and hide because they are afraid to show themselves.
Is it the witches? Are you afraid of the riches? Greater is he that is than
He that's in the world.
My darling, even when you stay in your bedroom, they can chase you there. I hear now the witches, they even know the flight numbers. They know the flight numbers. Just yesterday, I was reading, which airline was that? Pardon? No, not Passion Air. This is an international one. Where they saw vultures on the flight inside. The pilot took off, came back. They were trying to taxi. Oh, this African airline, Ethiopia Airline, yes. I only read it yesterday. Was taxi, saw it again. My darling, they know the flight numbers. So if I were you, I'd rather come to the altar. If you don't come to church and you stay at home and they want you, they will get you. Trust me, I know what I am talking about. Rather, when you stay on the altar, they are afraid of you. Don't go and hide under your bed. You don't owe them anything. Whether they like it or not, you will maintain your pregnancy.
Amen.
You will have a child.
Amen.
And I am here to prophesy to you. If you've lost a baby before, whether they like it or not, you will be like Pastor Benis. Now calling me and saying God has embarrassed you and you are shy to come out because you are pregnant again after 6 months. Amen. You will born like a rat.
Amen.
Please go ahead with the miscarriages.
Yes, Mama Rita, but they should do small family planning. They
Okay.
should be born like a rat. So, miscarriages happen a lot during the first 3 months of conception. That's what we call the first trimester. And a lot of those ones are just because the baby did not form well. Okay? So God is so wonderful that if the baby does not form well, He wouldn't allow it to carry on.
Is somebody listening? Would you prefer the baby to come out or the baby that is not formed well? You want to have that baby and have problems for life.
Yeah. And so once he hasn't formed well, with major issues, heart issues, some babies are formed without a head. Can you imagine?
Wow.
You have a baby, you've carried to term, and you have the face like this with the eyeballs. There's no head, no brain.
Wow.
You know, you don't want that. So things like that happen a lot. And so nature clears them off. So out of no fault of yours, you got pregnant and you miscarried within the first 3 months. We say, yes, it is painful, but there is a good reason why it happens. If it happens again and again and again, then we need to solve it and prevent it from happening again. Another common reason why it happens is what I said earlier. The older a woman gets before they get pregnant, the poorer the quality of the eggs. Because what happens is that every woman, baby girl, is born with a set of eggs already. You are born with it. Unlike the boys who grow up to puberty before they start making sperms, girls are born with their eggs already. It's like pre-packed, take away. Okay? And so those eggs will stay there until you reach puberty, then they start developing. You release. So if these eggs are there, up until 35 years and above, it's like egg. If you bought egg in Kosia, you keep it for long, what happens to it? It's no more fresh. It's spoiled. So think of it like that. It's part of the reason why I said it is best to finish having babies before the age of 35. Because by age 35, plenty of the eggs would have been lost because you've been having your menses. Each time you have your menses, you've lost about 10 to 20 eggs. Every month, we're losing them. So as you grow, you're going down, one. And then the quality of whatever is left is also going down. So when those eggs get fertilized, something can go wrong, and then nature miscarries them. That's the commonest reason. Now, if the pregnancy is after 3 months, then things may be that the womb is weak. So the mouth of the womb is weak. It can't carry the weight of the baby. Then it opens and then you miscarry. Later on, if it's in the last 3 months of the pregnancy, maybe your blood sugar was high, it wasn't detected, or some accident happened where the placenta will peel off, or the baby's cord forms a knot, or some accident happened inside. But majority of the miscarriages are in the first 3 months, and they are due to genetic problems, and they are to prevent having abnormal babies. Some people also have some medications we've prescribed for them when they are not yet pregnant. And so you are not able to tell if this medicine is safe when I get pregnant whilst taking it or not. And so if you fall in that category, you have some medical problem, and you are on some medication, and you are planning to get pregnant, it is good to see the doctor. We call it pre-conception care. We ask you, okay, what medications are you on? You say, I'm on medicine A, B, C, prescribed by Dr. Ajua. Then we'll say, okay, Dr. Ajua, this medicine, we are afraid. If she's taking it and she conceives, the baby wouldn't form well. So can you change it for us? Stuff like that. Blood pressure control medications, blood sugar control medications, thyroid medications, various medications. If you don't know, you're taking them and you get pregnant, then there's a high risk that baby wouldn't form well and these problems would happen. And then the good old environmental pollution, the galamsey and all the bad things that are entering our food and our water, they can all affect the formation of the baby. But majority is in the first 3 months due to abnormal formation of the babies.
Please put your hands together. Just a follow-up on this. There have been many young women that are also having PCOS and thyroid issues. I don't know if you can briefly talk about that too.
Yes. So the PCOS means that we call it polycystic ovarian syndrome. Young women, particularly those who are a little overweight or obese, that's why we say keep a healthy weight, you know. And then you are born with a problem which will put you at risk of that. You can't control it. But when you gain weight, then it makes it worse. And what happens is you start to grow beard. Not plenty like mine, but you can have a few. Then you have a lot of acne. Then if you put on weight in addition, then it disturbs the hormones. That hormonal disturbance would make your menses not to come. So some can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just this week I saw somebody a whole 1 year. She hasn't seen her period because of this condition. And if that goes on for too long, you can develop cancer of the inside of the womb. It also makes it difficult to get pregnant. And then other problems. In the long term, it can also lead to diabetes. So, like I said, if you are born with that, it's not under your control. But what you can do is keep a healthy weight. And then if you're experiencing those periods of skipping your menses, seek help so we can solve the problem. Thyroid problems, they come in various forms. Either your thyroid is overworking or is underworking. Again, they all affect your menstrual period. And so if you observe anything wrong with the menstrual cycle, it's important to seek help early, including menstrual pains. Some of us just think that as a woman you have to go through menstrual pain. No.
Wow. It's not normal.
It's not normal. Some may be normal, but you may not be able to tell. Some is due to some major problem that if you don't deal with it early, then there is problem in the future.
Wow. Wow. Don't forget you haven't asked Nanaya any question.
So, to Nanaya, we want to know what your experience was like after giving birth, and if you ever went through postpartum depression and how you handled that.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Can you hear her from the back?
Can you hear me?
You can hear her.
Can you hear me now? Great. Okay. So I'd want to pass a comment on the, first and foremost, on the sickle cell thing. So I am AC, and my husband is SAS. So every pregnancy, I fast and I pray. I was way too in deep to say I will not get married because my gynae advised that he doesn't think it's advisable for us to go for it. But I was going to rely on this altar. And I say to the glory of God that all 3 children don't have. I have 2 AAs and I have 1 AS. So God has been very good to me.
Are you clapping? Are you receiving it? I mean, this is a miracle, a miracle.
So I say this, that not everyone may be as blessed or as lucky. So I was joking with my husband that I think one of the things that I need to share with my children, especially the one that has AS, that when she meets any man, the very first question is, what's your genotype? Yeah. And I think that's
very important.
One education that we lack. So we fall in love, and then it gets to a point where it's during counseling that they ask you to go and check your genotypes, and then you're in too deep. You can't leave, and you're at risk of having sick children. So just before you meet a guy, prioritize knowing what their genotype is, and it will save you a great deal. Because that anxiety, you know, in Ghana too, when you give birth, you don't know your child's genotype till about their 1. So I live a very miserable, scary, anxious life until I check my child's genotype. Even at Shiloh 2022, I wrote in my request that the Lord should make my child AA. And so I wrote all my 2022 prayer requests at Shiloh. And so when the genotype came and he was AA, I sent a screenshot and I sent it to Mama Rita that look at what the Lord has done. But please, do not stress God. There's a lot of things that...
Please, tell them again.
Do not stress God. Some issues that we send to God are preventable. So if you're not married here, let it be important to you, because you don't want to have a sick child. So that's one thing I wanted to say. And thank you.
And then your experience.
And my experience with motherhood, I made a few notes when I was coming here, and it's interesting Dr. Adjoa touched on this. One of the key things that I would want you to leave with is comparison is a thief of joy. I want you to remember this first and foremost. That comparison is a thief of joy.
It's a thief of joy. I like that.
And so for me, after I've been through it, I realized that my major problem with my depression was all on comparison. And my sister and I had our children 6 months apart. So she gave birth before I did, and I saw her. We lived in the same house. So her daughter was so beautiful. Beautiful, the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. And her daughter was so peaceful. She would sleep all night. So I had formed an impression of what motherhood should look like. So my time comes, and the very first blow I have is during I had a cesarean section, my very first child. My anesthesia wore off about 15 minutes into surgery. So even before I could experience what motherhood was, it was just painful. By the time the procedure was done, I was black as charcoal, and it was because I had lost some level of oxygen. So that was done. So I was just emotionally unstable right from the get-go. And then the baby came out, and she wasn't as beautiful. I'm sorry. I looked at her hair, you know, I had the image of my sister's daughter. And that's why my first point is comparison is a thief of joy. When you...
Meanwhile, you should look at the baby today. Beautiful girl.
She was tiny, her hair, oh, I wasn't happy. So right on the stretcher when I was being sewn, I was very expressive. I'd missed coming to give me pain. I could literally feel myself being sewn. And because of my weight issue, they couldn't put me to sleep. There were so many risk factors. So I even left the hospital very disappointed as a mother. And then I had external issues where you see, comparison, I cannot stress on that enough. I gave birth, I had a friend that I met during antenatal. First comparison that also killed me was breast milk supply. She will sit in one setting, pump about 6 ounces of 6 bottles. And this is me, and then I bought the most expensive breast pump, and I can barely even express 1 ounce in a sitting. And I was so stressed. So another thing, if you haven't had a child, one thing I'll leave you with is fed is best. Whether it's breast milk or it's formula, you have a child and you should be grateful and just feed them and they will be fine. Take it from me, I've done it 3 times. All 3 times I don't have breast milk, but my children are fine by God's grace. So don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. And when you are in the moment, you will not understand, because I did not understand. It was after that I realized that, you know, we put ourselves under unnecessary pressure comparing ourselves to others. No, even me as a mother of 1 person having 3 children, none of my birth experiences were the same. So no one child or no two children are the same, and the experiences are different. So my first one, Mrs. Derek, wasn't it? Mrs. Ano, was not very pleasant. I was emotionally unstable. My cesarean went bad. I had really bad edema. I was swelling from bottom half. I couldn't walk. My shoe, I used to wear size 38. After delivery, I started wearing size 42. I had to wear my husband's shoes. It was a very, it was a very, very horrible birth experience. And I became extremely petty. I'm not the neatest person, but suddenly I'd become OCD. I see an ant in my child's things, I will cry. I see this, I will cry. And it was very, very unpleasant. And I also expected some level of support from my family. I wasn't getting it. My husband didn't understand me. Nobody understood me. Everybody felt so, yeah, bibi dodo. But I knew there was something not right. And one of the things, the first thing, and it was so bad that the day I was discharged and I got home with my baby, I did not want to hold my baby because I thought I was going to be a danger to the child. Because I go home and the only thing I could realize that for 2 days, all I would see is that there's pee on the floor. I lost continence. I would not feel that I want to wee-wee. I would just wee-wee on myself.
Wow.
And that put me in a very bad place. That's so I'll give birth and then I can't wee-wee, or is it kidney, or is it this? And I had to go back to the hospital. And then I'm also overweight. My cesarean section wound will not heal. They said, lift your stomach and let air pass on it. How will I lift my stomach? And I'm laughing at it now, but at the time, it was painful. It was difficult. And I know not more than a lot of women go through this. I mean, afterwards, I found a good network of women, and I realized that it wasn't, it's not like you're some way, or you don't know. And I think, Mommy, this talk is not only for we who experience it, it's also for our loved ones. That be empathetic. Yeah. The word is empathy. And we also hold these crowns and feeling that, oh, I mean, my mom would tell me 5 times, or bad time, nah. I mean, how the hell am I not supposed to sleep? You know, you were lucky. You did it 5 times. Good for you. I cannot. You know, I have chronic insomnia, but it's so amazing that when I have children, I become so sleepy. I've dropped all 3 of my children, something I'm not proud of. But that tells you how motherhood is painful and if you don't have the support that you need. I remember all the days. The very first time I dropped my first child was 2nd April 2017. And then the second one, I think, I don't remember, he dropped it like twice. And then the third one was 28th December. I had him 14th December. He was barely 3 weeks old. And I was dozing off and I dropped him. Wow. And my mother will think that I'm careless. And everybody will look at me and think you're such a horrible mother. But it was deeper than that. I needed help. And everybody thought that, oh, get worried, screw, are you the only one who's giving birth? But it's deeper than that. So if you're here and your loved ones, show empathy. Show empathy. So 2 things I'll leave you with. Comparison is a thief of joy. Third is best. And the third one is empathy. If you have a loved one who's giving birth, just be patient. They may be going through something.
So the first one is
comparison
is a thief of joy. My darling, don't compare yourself with somebody else. Somebody else's experience will be different from yours. I remember when I had my daughter, Reverend Naka. She was so beautiful, so beautiful. I mean, I haven't seen a beautiful child like that before. So beautiful, so peaceful. Then I had my second child, who is a boy. My in-laws came to the hospital to visit me. And there was another baby. Went to the baby and said, oh, I've never told my son this before. Went to the other baby and said, look at how handsome this baby is. Oh, look at this ugly boy. I mean, you can just imagine 2nd day after delivery. Isn't my son a fine boy?
Yes, he is.
Jacqueline, rise and let them see the kind of husband I gave you. And yet people were comparing my son with somebody else. Let's stop doing that. Look at the child's skin and say, oh my God. So the last one is empathy, which all of us need. Let's try to put ourselves in the shoes of the mother who has just delivered. And then the second one is
best with those who don't have fed, feed.
Oh,
FED.
FED, fed is best.
Whether breast milk or formula.
Whether breast milk or formula. I mean, if you don't, they always say that exclusive is the best. But if you are not getting the breast milk, what do? Please go formula, and the baby will still be as healthy as the one that was breastfed. Thank you so much. You've actually taught us a lot. And then you also said something at the beginning. When people deliver and we don't see them at church or within the groups, they were very active. All of a sudden, they are slow. They don't come for meetings. My darling, let's not judge them. Pick a phone, call them, find out what is happening to them. Let's not just say, since you delivered, you've changed. Are you the first to deliver, my darling? What you went through is not what she went through. We are all different. Are we listening? I had my first baby who was very beautiful, very peaceful. She would never cry. I traveled on state transport with Reverend Naka from here to Takoradi, and nobody ever knew I had a baby. Because throughout the 4-hour journey, she never cried. And I had my son, who would tell my daughter, third born, Nadromo, are you missing mommy? Then Nadromo would say yes. Then let's cry. When daddy came from Holland, he would look into daddy's face and say, I want you to go back. I want my mother. I want to sleep with mommy. My darling, let's not compare. We will take the last question and we will be done for the day.
So take the last question from Derek.
Hello, thank you very much for the opportunity. So I have two questions. One is for a friend who is a male. During the session, I realized we were talking more about the ladies, but I have this friend who is also suffering from this whole thing. So his wife also gave birth. It was through CS. And we used to tease him that, well, I'm sure second baby is coming. Not knowing he was suffering within, because he said the experience his wife went through, he's not able to come back to himself. So he's not, since his wife delivered, he has not been able to touch his wife ever again. And he doesn't know how to talk about it to his wife, how to address the issue, because the kind of suffering the wife went through, he doesn't want to put the wife through the same stress. But here's somebody who was saying that he wants to give birth to 4 children, but now he doesn't even want to hurt the wife again. So how does such a man cope with that situation? And then the second question is for women who are not getting married, but they are like 40 years and above, but they also want to have children, but they are in ministry. And it's like if they go and do other options to have children, the church kind of frowns at them. How do you address such an issue? Because they will feel like the community is going to talk bad about them. So I want us to talk about women in ministry who are of age, but they are not finding somebody to get married to, but they want to have children. How do they address that? Thank you.
So Dr. Adwa, and you can talk about the gentleman and then even the second one.
I'll start with the gentleman. Can you hear me? Yes. So it's likely that he has post-traumatic stress. I'm calling it post-traumatic stress and not post-traumatic stress disorder because nobody has assessed him. And until you are assessed, we can't give you a diagnosis. But it's very likely that that is what he's struggling with. Most of the time when we hear PTSD, we think of our personal trauma. But sometimes the PTSD is from someone else's trauma, or even trauma that you heard about or you read about. So you can have PTSD from trauma you were not even there when it happened, like the Circle disaster. You may not have been there. You may have been told about it, but you still have a lot of anxiety around the situation. What is PTSD? it is when someone has a lot of stress and anxiety about a traumatic experience. Any experience that was so traumatic or adverse that it took a toll on them. And so you realize that the person, there are a number of things that they would do, but there are three main things that will make it more likely that the person has that. And one of them is avoidance behavior, which is what your friend is doing. So they avoid anything that would remind them of the situation or put them back in that place. And we don't talk a lot about the trauma men go through. When we lose pregnancies, for instance, nobody checks on the man. Everybody's mind is on the woman who has lost their baby, the woman who is having the post-traumatic stress. But especially these days, men want to be better than their fathers were. Men want to be more present than their fathers were. And so you have people talk about how I've gone to take somebody's daughter, and then it's my fault. I'm the one that impregnated her. And now look at what she's going through because of me. And so if it gets so serious that the man does not want to even have anything to do with the woman to cause another pregnancy, then this is actually a problem. There are people who will talk like that, but after about a year or 6 months, they will have a second child. But if it is worsening over time and the person is still in that situation, they probably would have to talk to someone because it might be PTSD that they are suffering.
Do you want to? It's fine. So, the second one, for people who are 40 above, they are in ministry, no man is coming, they also want children. So, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I would have advised you differently. Are we listening? 10, 15 years ago, I would have advised you differently. But for now, you think you are 40 years and above, no man is coming, you are not permitted to fornicate, yet you are lonely, you also want to have your children, you don't want to freeze your eggs. What do? Number one, we allow you as a church now to go and adopt. So now we have people in the church, ladies in the church, they are not married, but they have their babies. Number two, some people want to carry their own babies. So they want to do donor sperm. If you are here, we won't allow the young people. We won't allow the young people to do it. But you are 40 years and above. Come and ask me for permission. Are we listening? Come and ask me. It's not something we want to do for everybody. To give people the opportunity to say, I think I'm 25, I don't want to have children, but I don't want to get married, I want to have children, my darling, we won't give you the permission. But 40 years and above, for heaven's sake. I think that now, churches must come to the realization that we live in a different world. You can't lose everybody. If no man is coming, you are not also allowed to fornicate. At least we should allow you to have your own child. So if you are here like that, you can come and talk to me, and then we will look at it. Thank you, and God bless you. I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Jua, who came all the way from Cape Coast. And Dr. Adra was here before a lot of you came, and I speak that to your shame. We want to say a very, very big thank you, and we are certainly going to invite you again. Shall we give it up to her? I also want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Promise. Is it the second time or the third time? This is the second time of being on Family Life. If we actually show this on Family Life, then this is going to be the second time of having Dr. Promise on Family Life. And I recommend to you Dr. Promise, and I recommend to you his clinic. The name of your clinic again? Shape. Shape
Healthcare.
Shape Healthcare. Shape Healthcare at Latabi Okoshin. If you have any issues and you want a private consultation, when we close, you can either see Dr. Promise or you want to see Dr. Ajua for just a few minutes. And then to Vanessa and to Peaches. Peaches is my makeup artist. She came here. She's done her makeup. She didn't come to do my makeup. But we want to say a very big thank you to Nanaya and to Vanessa for sharing your stories. What we are lacking today is people coming forward to share their stories. And I'm not taking it lightly at all. I am really, really blessed to have you. And I think that I'm going to invite you again to Family Life to share your story. What will we say to my co-hosts? Very soon I'm going to retire somebody and somebody will take over. But until then, same day, same time. Thank you for sharing your evening with me. Thank you for those of you who came on to Royal Ladies, to the 2G. This is actually 2G sessions organized by our young ladies. Thank you. Until then, same day, same time next week. God bless you. From my panel, Family Life Today, God bless you, and I'll see you again. Thank you.
Hello family, it's a new week here in Royal House Chapel Oil Dome and I've got all the updates that you need. This June, we continue to gather every weekday at 5:30 p.m. in the Ahemfie Auditorium for Armageddon prayer meetings. You cannot afford to miss these powerful sessions. Immediately after, groups will take a few minutes to hold their internal meeting. Here's what else is happening this week. On Wednesday at 10 a.m., join Hour of Champions for an atmosphere of intense prayer and divine encounter. And on Friday at 6:30 p.m., it's a special blood service at our Friday prayer and miracle service. You don't want to miss what God will do. Plus 2G will be hosting their 12-hour prayer-a-thon on the same night. Talk about back-to-back encounters. On Saturday at 6 a.m., begin your weekend with fire at the morning at the altar prayer service. Our French and International Ministry meets every Tuesday at 6 p.m. for Restoration Hour and on Sunday at 9 a.m. at the Restoration Temple for the French and International Ministry service. Please take note, the next child dedication happens on Sunday, the 22nd of June. Please register at the information desk if you'd like to have your child dedicated on that day. Men born to succeed. Our annual camp comes off this Thursday, the 12th of June to Saturday, the 14th of June at the city of Shiloh in Agotochopoli. Don't miss this divine time with God for anything. Be there. In this month of June, I prophesy that the blood of the Lamb will go before you and deliver you from all harm. In Jesus' name, God bless you.
Man Makers Ministry presents Man Makers Camp 2025, a gathering of men called for a purpose and born to succeed. Join the Apostle General Sam Korankye-Ankrah, Reverend Mrs. Rita Korankye-Ankrah, Reverend Stanley Mensah, Patrick Otiekubwedu, alongside a host of godly, visionary, and purpose-driven men for a time of spiritual sharpening, leadership impartation, and personal renewal. Theme: I am called. Romans 8:30. Date: Thursday 12th to Saturday 14th June 2025. Venue: City of Shiloh, Agotochopoli. This is a call to all men, young or old, far or near, married or unmarried, do not miss this divine opportunity. Men born to succeed.
The daughters of Mama Rita, are you ready for some praise? Wave your mantles, wave your mantles. Somebody celebrate it to your next level. Celebrate it to your shift.
You are going with your marriage.
We receive it.
You are going with your pregnancy.
We receive it.
You are going with your children.
We receive it.
Royal ladies, are you ready? The moment we've been waiting for is finally here. From every assembly, every region, and every nation, the women are gathering again. Camp 2025 is not just another event, it's the destiny moment. We have seen great miracles, head moving testimonies, and experienced the powerful move of God like never before. And this year will be no different.
This year, get ready for another encounter and history in the making. From Thursday 3rd to Sunday 6th July, all roads lead to the city of Shiloh for Royal Ladies Camp 2025. Theme: there shall be a performance. Luke 1:45.
And in a glorious moment, our President General, Reverend Mrs. Rita Korankye-Ankrah, will be consecrated as Apostle of the Lord's Church. Joining her are a dynamic lineup of speakers: Reverend Mrs. Dora Takiaboy, Reverend Emmanuel Agomeda, Reverend Geoffrey Adotutu, Reverend Mrs. Faith Ngwale, and our Father, Apostle General Sam Korankye-Ankrah.
Wherever you be joining us from, we've prepared a seat online just for you. Connect live on Powerline TV and all Royal House digital platforms. Royal Ladies Camp 2025, there shall be a performance. Royal Ladies, arise and shine.
Stay inspired by the powerful teachings of Sam Korankye-Ankrah, now available at your fingertips. To download and listen to his messages, simply head to your favorite podcast platform like Apple Podcast, Spotify, or Google Podcast. Just search for Sam Korankye-Ankrah. Hit subscribe to receive new episodes directly. You can download the latest episode for offline listening, whether you are at home, on the go, or wherever you need that fresh word of encouragement. Get ready to be uplifted. Subscribe now to the Sam Korankye-Ankrah podcast and start listening today. Exciting news, Royal House family. We are expanding our payment options to make it even easier for you to stay connected to the altar and support the work of God. In addition to our existing platforms, you can now send your sacrifices through TapTapSend or SendWave from the UK, Europe, US, or Canada. Just download the app from the App Store or the Google Play Store and select Ghana as your destination. Then select MTN or Telecel mobile money. Enter the church's Momo or Telecel number and send your tithes, offerings, pledges, and any other sacrifices quickly and securely. Be a part of what God is doing in Royal House Chapel wherever you are in the world. Are you looking for inspiration and a deeper walk with God? Join the official WhatsApp channel of Apostle General Sam Korankye-Ankrah, your personal gateway to uplifting messages, powerful teachings, and spiritual wisdom that speaks to your everyday life. Stay connected with exclusive videos, devotionals, life-changing quotes, and prophetic insights. This is more than just a channel. It's a daily encounter with truth, grace, and power. Scan the code. Click on the follow button to join the family. Let the word transform your life one day at a time.
You are watching Power Powerline TV. Stay tuned.